I'm like as if there was a fun Barbara Walters, except there isn't.
Oh, I love that.
Okay. It's about to go live.
Well, I see the tag.
Hi, Facebook. Welcome to Comic Spot.
Oh, I love that.
And I'm here, and we have a guest today. Come on in, have a seat, and get to know our lovely guest. She's got her back to the camera because she's trying to balance work and fun. So today, we have the amazing Amber Maeda.
Yes.
We're going to interview her right after I do the intro. You get to wave at everybody right now, Maeda. Wave at people. See?
Hi.
Make a puppet. I can do this virtually.
Pulling the strings.
Let me read the introduction. You can do all of that while I'm doing this. That's okay. Keep doing the puppet thing. That's funny. Amber Maeda over there, aka the Midwest Hawaiian, hails from the Mitten State, but started her comedy career in Cleveland. Oh yeah, hot in Cleveland is more like it. After a failed attempt to be a singer in a punk band. I can't see it, but that's okay. Her stories of an Asian dad upbringing, stoner, happy-go-lucky, I don't know how to read. Her stories of an Asian dad upbringing, stoner / happy-go-lucky attitude make her a relatable crowd favorite. She's open for Comedy Central's Jeff Horst and Jessa Reed, Brendan Iyer, Ron Jeremy, and Tammy Pescatelli. Yeah. Man, oh man, what a list you have there. She's guested on the Kill Tony podcast. Holy crap. My gosh. Featured at the Cleveland Comedy Festival and has been nominated for the Cleveland Comedy Awards. You guys, welcome the most beautiful and the funniest and decorated veteran of comedy out there. So glad to have her. Welcome her. Come on. It's Amber Maeda. Hi.
Thank you. Yay.
We're here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you.
I couldn't wait to have you. I could not wait. I'm so glad you're here. What's your day, your week, your pandemic been like?
A lot of hating my job.
What's your day job? What's your day job?
I work at a dumpster company, and that is not a metaphor. So I am an expert in trash, as you can see. Just kidding. You'll get to know my personality. But no, I should be thankful to have a job. I didn't for a little bit, but I'm still with my dumpster company. And I just deal with trash people all day.
You know, I look really innocent, but do you know what one of my favorite pastimes is?
Is it dumpster diving? Is it really?
When somebody says they want to do a deep dive, that's what I'm thinking.
Yes. Better than like a deep dive, if you know what I mean. Much better.
Bed Bath & Beyond, that's the dumpster you want to hit.
That is a good one. Oh my gosh. I actually need a shower caddy. So if you're in there, pick me one up.
Okay. It'd probably be $100 to mail it to you right now.
Right. The same cost.
Yes. Well, I want to go back, like I do with everybody, way back into your childhood. You're so beautiful and so sweet and happy. Were you always the life of the party, writing sketches and scripts and entertaining the neighbors, or did you become funny later? What's the deal with Amber Maeda?
Short answer, no. Not at all. I was a really shy child. I mean, this is TMI, but here we are. I was like the kid that peed herself every day if someone even looked my direction, it just made me so nervous. I was usually on the playground by myself, writing songs about like I look back and I actually have all the songs still, and they're like so adult, like as if I knew real love and knew real heartbreak. I was talking about it like I did, and I certainly did not. Because as a 4-year-old, you know, playground was a lot of drama, I guess. So just I feel like I was a very serious child. I was raised incredibly religious. So I couldn't even play with Pokemon after a while because it was of the devil.
What?
Yeah. What else?
What's the thought behind that? Just to keep me up to speed.
Correct. So short answer, there's not any because my mom is what you would consider crazy. So no, I couldn't listen to regular radio until about middle school. When my parents got divorced, so then I was kind of like not monitored every second of the day. So that was cool. Couldn't say the word but until 7th grade. So pretty proud of that. Now I can say but whenever I want. But yeah, I was raised incredibly religious. I was heavy into church was my drug. And yeah, I was a goody two shoes. And then I went to college, and I've been fighting that ever since, you know?
So at what point did you quit peeing on yourself and get funny?
So I've never stopped peeing on myself. How dare you? I'm doing it right now, Linda. I got to keep myself warm. It's cold in Michigan. But being funny, I don't know. I guess I did. I really wanted to do theater, but I was too scared to audition. And I was never pretty enough to be like the main girl. Aww. I know. I'm wearing a lot of makeup right now, but I was never that girl. So I always had to shine by being the funny person. And I think, oh God, did you grow up religious at all?
Yeah. I had a dad that said he was Jewish and a mother that wanted to be agnostic, but she was Christian, you know, like a messed up childhood. One of those.
Oh, right. Okay, relatable. Yes, I'm kind of Jewish now, but yeah, I guess we'll get to that. But we did this thing called Vacation Bible School, and there was like a different theme every year. And one year it was like Gilligan's Island, and I was the Gilligan character. Yeah, though I really just wanted to do that role because there was a scene where I like stumbled and then planted my face into a cake, and that meant I got to take the cake home. So I was really happy about that.
I've done Vacation Bible School. Those were a riot. It's
yeah,
really like, you know, what's the Jewish girl doing here? And then you go to synagogue. What's the Christian girl doing here?
Just never belonging, huh?
But I belong in comedy. I found that out.
Good. Yes. Well, you're one of ours.
Yeah.
I did hear you. Heard you previously use the word mashugana. Isn't that a Jewish word?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think she is.
It means crazy.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I will use that lightly. Use
it appropriately as often as possible.
Anytime I pee myself. Mashugana. What are you gonna do?
I like to throw out words that are Yiddish words so that people who are anti-Semitic flee. They just run. When they hear the hint of it, they're like, I'm out of here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually just learned that I'm Jewish. So I'm talking about that more in my set as well.
Can I hear about this?
Yeah. So my mom took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 11% Jewish. Which is, it's weird because I'm half German.
Me too.
Oh, are you really?
Well,
Well,
all German and
oh,
half,
all German.
yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, my grandparents are immigrants from Germany.
Mine too.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a weird combo being German and Jewish. So oh God, like it's been so long. I like don't remember my jokes, but we're gonna try and figure it out. Ah, because of that thing that happened. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say it. And
Hologram.
yeah, the hologram. You just remember that shiny folders in middle school? What was it? Oh gosh, I need to like look it up actually, because like
okay, sure.
I don't even know where I would look it up.
I have Holocaust jokes.
Do you? Because can I hear one while I look mine up?
My parents survived the Holocaust, so one of my favorite jokes to start with, and I do it just to piss off the people that don't like Jews. I say, hey, I got great news. My parents survived the Holocaust. Isn't that great? But the best news of it is they survived the Holocaust that did exist.
Yeah, really. Seriously though. Oh my gosh. I don't even understand those people. It's like they live in the same world as the flat earthers.
Yes.
And I hope they all fall off that flat edge.
Me too. Yeah, that would be great karma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I like really can't even remember. How long has it been since you've done comedy?
Like 2 nights ago. Oh no, last
Really?
night I did it for Gabe Abelson, who used to be the head writer at David Letterman.
Oh my gosh.
He got to dissect every joke and tell me, okay, you went past the punchline on this one. And this one, you got it in the wrong order. It'd be nice if you turned it and did it the other way around. And like,
oh, that's awesome.
It was a learning experience because his, at the late night level, things had to be perfect.
Tight.
Yeah.
Toit. Yeah.
You know what I'm going for? I'm going for, let me just throw something out and hope you laugh. I don't put myself at the late night level, I'm happy. One of my jokes, he said, that's not even a joke. And I go, I know, but I get laughs from it. So
if it works, it works.
Yeah, but it's great to get yourself out there to be, scrutinized by people who've made it, because it'll put you up, if you listen, you'll elevate yourself.
I totally agree. In Cleveland, I would always try and surround myself with like the more respected comics, like people that are getting booked as headliners and, getting booked at bigger shows and across the country. Because if you can learn from the best and you surround yourself by the best, then you become part of it. It's the law of attraction, the law of being around good people.
Yes. The more, like, even if you're just lucky enough to have somebody that's a headliner locally that'll have coffee with you once a month, just listen to the way they form their sentences. I used to sit and, have coffee with Stephen Pearl, and he used to go out and on the road with Robin Williams.
Oh my God.
And just
that's amazing.
Him made me better, even if I only met him for coffee once a month.
That is so cool. I'm writing down all these names that I don't know so I can look them up, because I love comedy, but yeah, that's amazing. So when you started doing comedy, I started doing comedy and I found a comic that was like older like that, who's more experienced, and we would go out and get dinner, and he's kind of like a mentor, but I call him my comedy dad. Oh. And I know a couple other comics have a comedy dad. Do you have a comedic parental figure?
Well, right now I have Steve Marshall in New York as a friend that believes in my comedy. And he's been around the country, and then I have an amazing 2 coaches, Vanessa Hollingshead. She's been on with the nanny. She's been with Fran Drescher on Women of a Certain Age on HBO.
Tammy Pescatelli was in that too.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. You got it.
I watched that.
Yeah. So Vanessa's my coach, and she's fabulous at helping me to say what else I can say. She can take 1 minute set and make it a 5 minute set with all, she's fabulous. And then I got a local guy, Ty Rivera. He's been on Comedy Central, and he helps me with listening once a month to my set and give me pointers to make myself stronger with the personal. She helps me on the computer and he helps me in person. There's a difference of Zoom and live comedy, different tricks,
Totally. I actually saw your YouTube Zoom show that you did, and you were just like so effervescent. Like you brought so much life to it. I was like, I can't wait to talk to her because like, again, you're like so positive, and I can like see that all the time. And I've been like struggling with that. So I've been like trying my hardest in all different aspects to just like bring positivity to me so I can feel positive and like not suck at life. So I was really excited about this.
Thank you. I'm telling you, every day I have to keep shaking off all the past BS and be grateful for it. And
yeah,
I really, every morning when I get up, I try to, what you're seeing is really a grown-up little girl before all her traumas. That's who I want to be. I want to be the little girl that used to try to make my Holocaust surviving parents laugh.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, like I just have a bigger vision, a bigger desire, like behind it.
Yeah, man. And God, maybe I need something more traumatic in my life.
I'll sell you some of mine. I'd give it to you, but I'm half Jewish. So.
I know. Well, apparently I'm a little bit, but it looks like my friend Marley just commented, but we actually got blessed by a rabbi, so I'm officially a Jew.
Wow. Okay, let's hear this story. You get your DNA, and a rabbi says is this like a real where you get converted and you get taught, or a rabbi says, you know what, the DNA packet looks good, you're a Jew? What?
Well, my grandma did, my Oma Helga, she did a whole, what's it called? Like going back into your history. Like we have a whole book of our German ancestry, and the Jewish line comes from all the women, which you have to be Jewish.
That's right.
So by blood, since it's all through the woman's side, I am Jewish. Since I only found out like a year or two ago, but I've been like trying to celebrate the holidays. So happy Purim. We just had that the other day.
Happy Purim.
Purim. Did you have any of the cookies? I know that.
I don't celebrate. I was never taught. My parents, they got drunk and dropped us off at the synagogue and they ran.
Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, I'm from a Jewish community where I grew up in Farmington Hills, Michigan, predominantly Jewish. My high school was 60% Jewish kids. And I was the weirdo because I was Christian. And I was like, do you want to come to youth group? And they're all like, no, like, we're going to skip school because it's a Jewish holiday. And I'm like, I don't want to go to school. But yeah, I wish I would have known then, because I would have had so many more friends, because literally everyone I grew up with was Jewish.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you find out now that you are Jewish.
I know. And then I was in Cleveland, which is like not a lot of Jews, except the East Side has like the real ones with the ringlets. They're the real ones, Yeah, they will not get tattooed. Whereas others are like, maybe. But yeah, living in Cleveland, not a ton of Jews on the West Side.
Oh my gosh. I was told, my dad said that we were Jewish. And then when I got into comedy, I went to New York, I found out I'm not Jewish. My whole life I was telling people I was Jewish, and I wondered why the Christians didn't want me, the Jews didn't want me, like little Miss Half-Breed. And then I
Yeah.
get to New York, and you're not Jewish. Your mother wasn't Jewish. And
Oh, right.
I'm like, I have to find
Wow.
that out now.
That's like such a bummer. So your mom like didn't convert to make it official.
And
Yeah.
well, see, she stayed in a nursing home at the end of her life that was a Jewish, and she met with a rabbi, and he died, and she died, and I can't find out if she converted. So I have a rabbi in New York that's going to just assume that she converted and let me convert.
Good. Yeah. Welcome to the tribe. Still part of it. It's fine. We're still Jewish. You're Jewish though. Let's be real.
Let's be real. Yeah. Like LinkedIn,
Yeah.
once removed, twice
Are
removed.
you could do a DNA test and see, and then just like, it says I'm Jewish. So there you are.
I could. Yeah. So tell me about the kind of humor you use nowadays. You're working on incorporating becoming Jewish and finding out you're Jewish, but
Yes.
what is most of it? I read your bio, and that
Mhm.
is relatable material, and you're
So that's a little bit of a joke itself.
okay.
I mean, I guess I like the alt humor of like, alt guys. I mean, let's be real. It's mostly white guys trying to do alt humor, which
Yeah.
no shame. I love that type of humor. I like to do that too, but for some reason, like my bubbly effervescentness, when I do alt type of humor where I'm very like straight faced, people like don't laugh. I like kind of have to be super goofy for people to understand what I'm saying.
Me too.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a female thing. I'm not sure. But I like that type of humor, but I also like to get booked. So, and like do crowds that are, and then when you get booked in those types of shows, it's a lot of middle-aged families, married couples, and you want to be able to relate to them. I want them to have a fun time. So I talk a lot about my family. And my family, my mom's side is German, my dad's side is Asian. So I say mostly raised by my dad, just because we're like really close and I live with him right now. So we're definitely close. So I've always kind of like made fun of my dad and my grandma, who is one of my best friends. I also live with her now, which is why I cannot do comedy at the moment. But now that I live with them, I'm getting so much more content. So it's even better. Who would have known moving back in with my grandma, her having dementia would be a blessing, because now I'm having all this more content. But no, I do love her. So living at home and taking care of her, and yeah, so I will have a lot more content once I'm able to get out and do comedy again. She just got her second shot of the COVID vaccine.
Great.
So they said it takes about 20 days for it to like fully shield up, I guess. So we're waiting a little bit longer for that to all be good. And then with the blessing of my family, I will be able to do comedy again.
Oh, wow. That's special that you're taking care of your grandmother. And dementia is no joke,
No, and it's Lewy body too. So,
oh my gosh.
Yes. So we're constantly having to deal with the two Chinese men that live on our porch, or the naked woman taking a bath in the moonlight. So it's fun to hear all these things. And I'm also trying to navigate how far I let her go with it before I'm like, okay, there's like no one outside. We're fine. Like we're safe. It's okay. So yeah, it's been interesting. So to answer your question, I talk a lot about my family and talk a lot about, I don't think I'm like a great storyteller. I do have a couple stories that I've said more than enough times to finally ingrain it into my stoner brain. So that's been difficult to remember because I smoke weed every day. But I did want to tell you one joke because you said you're a veteran, correct?
Yes.
So for a while, this was like my one-liner closer. But I'd like ask the audience if there were any vets. And if there were, I'd say like, obviously give it up for them. Thank you for your service. Yeah, so really do. Thank you though. But then I would say, I do have like a question. If you ever meet a veteran, if I pity fuck a veteran and get the clap, is that considered an honorable discharge?
Yes, it is.
Yes, thank you.
Totally. That's a great joke.
Thank you. I will need antibiotics though.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You should hear some of the fun I have with the military, you know. Like I was in the military, you know, in the 70s, a long time ago, you know, and I know what you're thinking. She's a baby killer? No. Let's go back in history. Women didn't start, I didn't have an abortion till long after the military.
Yes.
It's like, I want to be hip. But I did. I had an abortion once. So, you know, it's kind of,
we'll get rid of that motherfucker.
calling me a baby killer because I was in. Another fun thing about the military is the men would always say to me every day, are you in the military because you're a slut or because you're a nymphomaniac? This was the question. I don't know where they wrote this in a bathroom wall and everybody came out of the same bathroom, but all day. And I got to thinking, or you can't be both? How rude.
That is rude. I can choose to be a slut.
I'm going to be a slut great. And I'm going to be a nymph. I mean, I think the best sluts
they're
are
the same. Exactly. They're the same thing.
Thank you. God.
It's not apples and oranges. It's apples and tangerines.
Yes, exactly. So you grew up, you went through school, you peed on yourself. I'm doing the Jiminy Glick on you here.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up again. I just need to remind everyone.
Listen, I peed at school.
Have pissed myself.
Huh?
I have pissed myself.
I peed in second grade, and only Marla Mann Miller wanted to talk to me after that. No, even at my high school graduation, I could hear people.
I hate them all. I hate them all for you. You don't deserve that.
So you decided at some point in your life, hey, I'm not that shy. I'm going to get on stage and I'm going to throw myself under the bus for other people's enjoyment. When was that moment?
Yes. Well, I feel like those are two different points where I'm doing all that. I decided in middle school that if I wanted to have friends, I should try. So that was a thing I had to overcome, was trying to have friends. And then in high school, I was kind of like, if you don't try, then you're never going to have it. So then I became more outgoing and then just did everything I could. So I was a singer. I was an actress. I did this thing called TV10, which was like the local television channel that we got to do stuff for. I was the announcer in high school. I announced sports games, which is hilarious because I know nothing about sports. Like basketball games, I'm like, man, their shoes are squeaking, man. Yeah, they're throwing hoops and making goals. So I guess I've been throwing myself under the bus since then. But I went to school on the west side of Michigan, came back to the east side post-graduation, tried to be a professional, hated it. then my boyfriend wanted to be a stand-up comedian. So we were going to move to LA, and my degree's in film, so I was just going to do anything. But when we were both unemployed trying to move to LA, I was babysitting a model. I would like drive her to and from her special school so she could do auditions and stuff. And we were just talking about like the process and like how hard you have to hustle to do anything. And I'm sure you know this. Something that I always keep in my head is it takes 10,000 hours to be an expert at anything. So, and that's a long time. Like 10,000 hours on its own is like a couple years, but you can't spend every hour of every day. You can only spend so much time. So you really have to put in the time when you have it. I felt like my boyfriend at the time was not doing that. And I say that tentatively. I don't really care. He unfriended me on Facebook, so whatever. But I know, really. But he wasn't like doing it on his own. And I've always been like a really hard worker. Like if I want something, I'm gonna put everything into it and be like a psycho about it. And I just wasn't seeing that. And he's like, I can't write jokes without you there. And I'm like, if you can't do it without me there, then you can't do it. Like, sorry. Right. And for the last year of our relationship, he wanted to be a stand-up. I got him books. I got him like a fancy mic to podcast, to do something. He didn't do anything. He did 3 shows in 1 year. Wow. Yeah. And I told him, I was like, if you don't get it together, I'm going to break up with you and move to Cleveland. Cause I just like had some friends there and I was like, hey, I like Cleveland. That'll be fun. So, he didn't make it till Wednesday of this week, probation period. So I'm too stubborn because I'm German to go back on anything I said. So the next week I moved to Cleveland without a job, without really knowing anyone besides this one group of people. And I was trying to do the punk band thing because that's the group of friends I had. The band that I found, it's just, you might know this, but it's just hard to coordinate a lot of people. Especially, I love the freedom of comedy. It's just me. If I want to go do something, I'll just go do it. I don't have to wait for a bunch of other people to be like, hey, are you free this day? No. Okay, I guess we can't do the gig. It's like, do I have gas? Do I have pepper spray? No, just kidding. But yeah, I can just do as many shows as I push myself to do, and I push myself. So I started doing stand-up comedy, and kind of in spite of him, but also I'd always wanted to, but I was scared. But I went to an open mic and they were really supportive. Everyone up there, everyone in the crowd was like, yeah, keep going. Even if like a joke did not hit, they were just like, yeah, you're doing it. And I was like, okay, I can do this. So I wrote a 5-minute set, went the next week, and it was a really weird situation because after that, like learning the open mics, big headliner people don't really go to the open mics often, because they're above it, as they should. I mean, you still got to put in your work, but they can do it elsewhere also. And the night that I did my first set, there were a lot of people there that normally wouldn't be, and they were really supportive. And they're like, that was a good set. You should do the next one, the next open mic. And I'm like, where's that? They're like, tomorrow. And I'm like, I'm there. And then I just kept going and kept going and kept going. So
the first time you went up, how nervous were you and how did the set go for you? Did you feel?
I like wrote out, I never did this afterwards, but I wrote out every like word for word what I was going to say in a notebook, timed it multiple times to make sure it was 5 minutes because I knew that was a thing. I got up on stage really nervous, had my notebook out the whole time, read from it a couple times, but I had the presence at least because I have a theater background.
Yeah.
And I got heckled my first time doing stand-up, and we're friends now, but I did not know him at the time. And he would like heckled me, and I just threw it right back at him because I'm one of those girls at the bar. I love talking shit to people when I'm drunk. And it's like, I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm just like, oh, you think you're good at darts? Like, I'll fucking beat you, just wanting to talk shit to people. So I think I'm good at handling hecklers like that, but you don't want to heckle me because I'm not nice. I will shut you down and I won't be nice. So
good for
yeah.
you.
Yeah, I guess.
Good to own that. You have to be strong because a heckler needs to be shut down.
Yes.
And a lot of times clubs don't do it for you. You got to do it yourself.
Exactly. For a while, I was doing so many shows a night that I would have to leave a show early to make a different one. So for a long time, if there was a heckler in the crowd, I'd have to deal with them because I would go up and I was like, my set may suck, but I'm getting rid of the heckler for the rest of you. So you're welcome. Do you have like your favorite thing to say to a heckler?
Yeah. Like I love the heckler that says something that the crowd laughs at that's maybe funnier than what I was going to say. And I go, oh my God, now that you said it, it's mine. Thank you. It's not really.
You said it during my time.
Yeah. It becomes my property now. Thank you. And then they don't offer more stuff because that's the agreement. I didn't ask them. I told them.
Wow, that's awesome.
You can
use
use
like
it.
They announced my name on stage, so anything that happens in this time period is my property. Thank you.
Yes.
That's so funny. I was getting heckled so much that I had to, come up with a line like that, and it worked the very next day. This woman, we kind of ambushed comedy upon this bar, so that's on us. They weren't really wanting to hear it, but we were doing it anyway. And this one woman goes, I'm laughing. And I'm like, ma'am, I would love it if you just laughed instead of telling me you're laughing. And so she's like, give me the mic, honey. Give me the mic. And I'm like, oh, okay. You want the mic? And I was like, by chance, do you have a husband? And she's like, yeah, he's in the back. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll go fuck your husband and I'll give you the mic if we're going to trade jobs. And her husband was so embarrassed for her that he came and snatched her up. And I didn't hear from her again. So it worked out. I will say, I just want to tell you this one. It's not mine. My friend Steve Mers, he's really funny Cleveland comic, but he has my favorite way to deal with hecklers. I wish I could do it on stage, but it's usually, it's usually a drunken woman.
Yeah.
Saying something.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So he has a really good way to shut them up. He'll go, if this was the Star Wars cantina, you'd be the alien with butt cheeks for a face. And that always shuts them down. I love that line so much.
Oh my gosh. I got heckled the first show I got booked on.
Oh my gosh.
I had like, I was doing the preamble to my set, like I was so nervous. I really wasn't ready to be booked. I only got booked because I filled the whole room with military people. And
that's awesome.
And I'm up there and I'm doing my set. I'm doing the preamble to my set. Like, here's a couple jokes. And then when I get comfortable, I'll tell you the real set. And this lady caught on, because like I'm a dead giveaway and I can't play poker or nothing. And so she goes, when's the comedy going to begin? When I'm doing and I don't know where I got this idea, but she was sitting way in the back by herself. And I said, ma'am, that was so rude. In the back of the room, you'll see 2 exit signs. Pick one. Told her to get If you want to
Good
do
for
a
you.
guest spot, I'm doing a guest spot, kicking out a member of the audience.
Good. They don't deserve to be there if they can't behave.
Yeah. Oh my
That's
gosh.
what they get.
A lot of times when I get heckled, I deserve it. Like I'm going too slow, or I'm doing the one lady at Broadway Comedy Club in New York. I was doing a set and I purposely do this one joke really slowly, like, because I kind of like fucking with people, you know, and I purposely
Yeah.
do it slow and it invites a heckler, right? And she took the bait. She's like, get to the point, like hurry up. And I go, you had better slow your roll, check my record. Like I'm threatening her. I'm doing it with a
Yeah.
smile.
It's called rhythm, ma'am. And you're probably white, so you can't keep it anyway. You probably don't know about that.
Do you have a joke that you do that barely gets a laugh, but you love it? Like my one about the Holocaust that did exist barely gets a laugh. The smart people in the back of the room will laugh because it's so smart. But the rest of the audience goes, I don't want to hear about it. So I'm not giving up the joke. What about you?
I definitely have had jokes in the past where I'm like, this is for me. This is 100% for me. I don't care if you laugh at it. I think this is funny and I want to say it on stage. But I'm also too comedically vain in addition to being normally vain. And I want that like specific laughs per minute to my set. So I have cut them out and it's like, it's not gone forever. Maybe I can make it funnier. But I did this joke. I don't talk about Trump often, but I did this one joke because I talked about my fears and how I'm afraid of clowns after seeing It. And then I would go into, clowns, they just say stuff like, "Ooh, look at me, I'm so scary," but really they're tearing children apart from their families. And it was back when Trump was putting kids in cages and stuff. So I could always update that with whatever's new is going on. But I also would go into, something about like, did you ever see Air Bud? The movie about a dog that played basketball?
Yes.
Yes. So much of like American humor is based on references, but that's so dangerous because if the audience doesn't know the reference, they're not going to get the joke.
Yes.
But I kept making the joke about how the clown would leave a trail of pudding cups for the dog to like kidnap him. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I always just wanted to say like a trail of pudding cups. And I just wanted to say that on stage because I thought it was funny and never got a laugh. But to me, I just wanted to talk about Air Bud. So
I love that. I love those risks that we take,
yeah,
because it's
you
something
kind of got it to get to a certain place.
Yeah. So what is it that you want to accomplish in your comedy career once the pandemic is over? What are some of your upcoming goals?
Oh my gosh, I love talking about goals.
Oh,
so
good. Me too. Yeah.
I actually, once I can overcome my depression, so maybe not going to happen, but I've been trying to do a podcast where I talk about goals, but my goal is to make a podcast about goals. So I'm like caught in this catch-22 with myself, but trying to like pull positivity. Those are like all my goals.
Wow.
On my board.
Great.
Yeah, I'm trying. But comedy goals, obviously I want to get back to doing sets. I'm in a new scene now. And like I know the Michigan comics because whenever I'd come home, I would do Michigan shows. So I know some people, but it's just different coming back because even doing shows in Michigan, I still feel like I'm a Cleveland comic. And I feel like there are differences. Like if you've gone to different scenes, you can see it. There's like a style or a sense of humor that's just different. I think everyone's really dark in Michigan and in Cleveland, but I think that Michigan's way more PC than Cleveland. Not to say that they're a bunch of racist assholes, which you're going to find that everywhere, I'm sure. But I feel like Detroit comics talk more about that, whereas Cleveland comics are just more dark. So it'll be different, just trying to make new friends.
Yeah, absolutely. So while you're in this position where you're caring for your grandmother who has dementia, then do you you say you're writing a lot of new content material.
Yeah.
Are you able to run that by anybody, or is your schedule so full with caregiving it's writing and
Well, she does sleep a lot, once we get the tranquilizer in her. So
horse tranquilizer?
yes, exactly. But yeah, I do get a lot of time. She does sleep a lot, actually. So I do have a couple friends that we like to talk jokes back and forth, and like you have your mentors where they kind of say like, oh, switch the order of how you say that, or just cutting words to get more to the point. I have a couple comic friends that I get to do that with, mostly my friend Brett Hayden.
Brett who?
Brett Hayden. He's hilarious, talented, successful. He's great. He knows my grandma because he comes over and we bake Christmas cookies together. So he's a really good friend, really good person to bounce jokes off of.
How often does he bake Christmas cookies year round?
We probably will, since we didn't get to this past Christmas, but yeah, he's just like a really good friend. It's just nice to have comedian friends that you can talk jokes to. I have a couple in Cleveland, my friend also in Michigan, John McDonald, one of my like best friends, and we both started comedy at the same time, but like we were friends before that. So I don't call him a comic friend because we're real friends first. Not that I'm friends with everyone.
Yes.
I don't want anyone to get mad at me like, we're not real friends. No, we're friends. It's just a different type of friends.
What would you say is the biggest hang up you have in the comedy world? Mine is I never want anybody to be mad or disappointed or disheartened by anything I do ever.
That's a lot of pressure on yourself. Are you okay?
No. What's that 800 number? Never forget.
I don't know. Really though. Oh my gosh, that's like really tough. I also hate when people are mad at me too. But you also have to like not care sometimes. Have you tried smoking weed?
I'm allergic to so many substances. I can barely eat food.
Oh my gosh.
When I eat, I have to take a Benadryl and then I wonder why nobody wants to marry me.
Because you're sleepy. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh man.
They could roofie me, but that's not popular anymore. So
no,
much for that.
they could just try and feed you. They don't need to do that. I'm allergic to everything too. What are you allergic to?
Dyes, preservatives, and sulfites. So basically everything at the grocery store that isn't organic or raw.
Man, so you're not even trying to be annoying on purpose.
No, this isn't like, keto or keto-kaolin diet or whatever it is, No,
yeah.
Just me. I have to be annoying. I must be annoying.
I must be annoying. That's a wonderful mantra.
Or I'll die. If I'm not annoying, I'm going to
Yeah.
die. I mean, this is a passion now.
I know how you feel. I just found out recently, I've been like on a million medications. It's been like a whole journey. I'm allergic to my vibrator.
Seriously.
So that's why I need a boyfriend, so I can stop using it so I can have a boyfriend.
Is it latex that you're allergic to? Plastic?
Yeah, it's the material. I'm allergic to materials in general, like nickel and wool. Anything with animals I'm allergic to. grass, pollen, perfume, dust, if I said that. Onions now, they give me ocular migraines, which that's a weird thing to find out. But yeah, I'm allergic to a lot of things too. So I feel you.
Yeah. And people
Or
don't
I
take,
won't touch you for, germ's sake.
people don't take allergies seriously. And I've been kicked
No,
out of more restaurants. Have you been kicked out of restaurants because you have allergies?
not because of allergies, but yeah, I've been kicked out of a restaurant before.
Maybe because I'm a dick.
I thought it was a titty bar.
I've ordered food and I've said, like, I can't have any lettuce on the salad. They're like, you came to the wrong place. We don't cater to your type. I'm like,
Oh my
could I
God.
talk to the manager though?
Well, you don't have an angular enough haircut to be a Karen.
That's true. Yeah.
Maybe you're more of like a Sophie.
Yeah. I'm one of the golden girls that was just off camera the whole time.
Yes. The one that you were busy doing shows, so that's why you couldn't be on the show.
That's it. So before you're very young, you're probably all of 21 years old. So
no, but thank you. Oh my gosh. Do I look youthful?
Yes, you do.
Oh, maybe I will start my TikTok.
And I'd get an OnlyFans. I hear that's all the buzz.
I have. I haven't posted anything, but I already have like a bunch of followers on OnlyFans. I haven't posted anything. People are just like thirsty. It's hilarious. But maybe I should. I mean, I'm not making too much money at the dumpster company.
I should do the ads for the dumpster company, like get in a negligee and go, look at this dumpster. It's so awesome. Then jump in it and go, look at all the fun you can have in a dumpster.
A dumpster party for one. I know, just rent a dumpster and then have a party in it.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
I was walking, I had a beagle in New York City in the 90s, right? And the beagle wanted to walk around a dumpster and he took forever to pee, and so finally he pees and I'm having to hold him, because he's strong and muscular and I'm not. I can barely hold a leash. So he's peeing. And I noticed in the dumpster, the whole dumpster's full of stuff from Walgreens, filled to the brim with Christmas toys after Christmas. They're just throwing them out. And that's what started my obsession with dumpster diving.
What's the best thing you've gotten from dumpster diving?
Airbeds at Bed Bath & Beyond that are worth like $450. Those big double, triple deck airbeds that you blow up. They throw.
Yes. That's amazing. That's actually like a very impressive find. I actually have a joke about air mattresses.
I want to hear it.
It was one of the last new jokes before quarantine, during quarantine, but I was so proud of it and I didn't get to do it.
Let's hear it.
So God, I hate myself. So I heard that air mattresses can self-inflate, but do they self-actualize? Like an air mattress looks in the mirror and says, soft, yet firm. Wow. It's beautiful, I know. Take a second. I'm very proud of that joke. And I will continue to do it, even if no one likes it. So that's my new joke that I'll do that no one likes. That's fine.
You know what? I don't know what self-actualize is. Can you explain that?
That's a great question. So, like, do you ever feel like you're just going through the motions, but you don't really realize why you're doing the things? And it's usually because of your traumatic childhood. And then it's kind of like you're looking within yourself on, why did I snap at my boyfriend today? It wasn't because of what he did. It's because I'm stressed about what's going on at work. But no, that's actually maybe I'm not doing it correctly. Maybe I'm not saying that. It's good feedback because maybe I can use a stronger word instead.
Or maybe you could say something to the effect like, this is just my thought, and you can tell me anything about
Yeah.
my jokes, because my jokes, you know, I can sell them, but they're not that great construction wise. So like if you say, man, have you noticed everything's getting smarter, everything you go and buy? I mean, the other day I went to buy a air bed, and I thought it was self-inflate, self-actualized.
It just looks in the mirror and says soft yet firm.
Yeah.
It's more of an emotional thing than, but yeah, it plays on that.
No,
But yeah,
I like,
that's a totally different way to, I mean, you got to play with it. You got to try these different types. So yeah, I will try it. That's so funny that was like the question that you had about that. Cause I recently dated someone, and I don't know if it's just because he was foreign, but he asked me after, like, in a,
that would be so funny on stage. I don't know if it's because he's so foreign.
he was, though, that's not my fault. But he specifically, we were having like a deep conversation, and I think I said something vapid, or just like kind of, I don't know what forced him to say this, but he was like, are you self-aware? And I was like immediately pissed. I was like, how dare you ask me that? But I was like, what do you even mean by that? Like, are you self-aware? Like, what do you think I'm doing that I don't realize that I'm doing? I don't know, but that, I still think about that to this day, and I immediately get mad.
That would really piss me off.
Yeah. If you're just like, oh, I was just like curling my hair. Are you self-aware? Self-aware of what? What are you getting at?
I got done doing a set at a graduation show in Pennsylvania, and
nice.
I got all done. I mean, I can pull out laughs aside from my jokes, you know, like I'm a master at that, right?
Good.
And so I get done, and I'm riding home with my roommate, who's the headliner of the show. He wasn't in the class, he was the headliner. And he goes, have you ever thought about what it is to be authentic? I'm like, I'm so pissed right now. Now's not the time to ask me authentically. So I thought I needed to research that. I literally looked it up, and I got so depressed and sad that I was up there telling jokes, and none of the jokes really were deeply rooted in my being. And I was telling superfluous crap just to get a laugh. And so I started becoming more authentic. You know, it's the new buzzword, authentic.
Yeah. I mean, everyone wants that real Louis, right? That Louis Vuitton. So what changed about, like, so were you doing things that like weren't real situations?
Yeah, I wasn't really, you know, it's like, I know the crowd wants to laugh. I thought of a joke. Let me tell you the joke. Did you laugh? Let's go to the next joke. And it was all about just trying to make them laugh instead of just being up there and being who I am. So now I didn't know who the hell I was. I was just like, here's some jokes we wrote in class, and here you go.
Yeah, I feel that way about things too. I have a couple jokes in my set that I do that are based in reality, but zhuzhed up for a set to entertain people, which is what we're supposed to do. And I feel like I write a lot of more like deeper topics that feel very like George Carlin, where he just goes off into a whole thing. But my issue is I am too high to remember all those thoughts when I'm on stage. I can only really do it if I'm really coming from like a place of passion, but like I don't feel like I'm a type of person that takes stances very strongly. I'm always like, oh, I'm willing to hear new information and change my mind. I just don't, I think you have to do that when you have a really strong opinion, and I don't think I have very strong opinions, except for I won't fuck Trump supporters. So that's the one thing I can control. So I do. But yeah,
I
other
think it would
than
be
that,
funny. I think it would be funny to address the fact somewhere in your set that you hate political flip-floppers and Trump people. But listen, me, I really don't have any feelings enough to have anything I'm passionate about. Like, I smoke too much pot anyway.
yeah,
I'm
I'll
up here.
forget my opinion anyway.
I can't even memorize my lines because, I'm not passionate about it. So I don't really give a shit if you laugh or not.
Well, like I could talk about something, but I'll forget what the point is. I'll just be talking. I'm like, I know there was a point to what I was saying. I like swear I'll get there. No, I won't. Sorry, guys. I'm just not self-aware enough.
It's like people say, what was that thing? They say you could use this line. They say in comedy that you're supposed to, what was it?
I'm actually
Hold up.
writing.
You're supposed to, something about a punchline. You're supposed to have a surprise punchline, but you know how much pot I smoke? It's a surprise if I'm going to remember the punch. Do you know how long ago I said the premise? And it's been like 2 minutes.
It's
I'm
a surprise if I'll remember my set.
You think I'm going to give up pot just to tell jokes? You got another thing coming.
Oh, I like that.
It could become your persona, like an additional layer to your personality. Like, I'm the lady that smokes too much pot to remember her jokes. That's funny. That's a funny.
Yeah. I did give it up for a while, not pot, but talking about it on stage, just because so many of my audience members like couldn't relate to me. They're like, I have a job and I have kids. I'm not smoking pot every day, you fucking useless piece of shit. Dance monkey, so I kind of gave it up for a while, talking about it again, not smoking.
Yeah, I love that. There's so many things I've tried on stage that don't work. So I totally
right.
I've heard things that did not work. They're still not working. So
yes, don't wear shorts on stage.
Yeah.
People say that, but you're in Vegas, right?
Yeah. And it gets hot here. And I'm sure, like when I get booked on a show, I'm wearing a prom gown and hooker heels. It's part of my whole bit.
I really hope you are, though. I would love that, truly.
I'm always wearing a prom gown. I'm wearing one right now.
Yeah. See? Oh my God, you are. That's beautiful, though.
It really hurts my feelings that I'm 69 years old, turning 70 this month.
Oh my gosh.
And you get ignored if you're old, unless you put on a prom gown. When I put on a prom gown, it's a superpower. People notice.
I love that. Honestly, good for you, but I hope you don't age, because you are currently the funniest age you can be.
Totally. Thank you. So what do you want to accomplish in your life, Amber, before you pass away? What must you do for your comedy and for the world?
I think this type of question always makes me laugh, because I am just trying to make it out of my 20s, and we'll see where we go from there. I love that all these people have like goals and such. I'm so short-sighted. Again, hopefully clean my room, maybe start that podcast, maybe turn on the computer that I built last July. Still haven't been able to turn it on. So I can build a PC, don't know how to use it. Probably should figure that out. I could read you a couple of my
Yes. Sure.
All right, let's see. These are like more affirmations.
Okay.
So I am hot. I have big boobs, a toned butt, and a flat stomach. I know how to twerk and I am good at it. I'm currently not. I have legs for days. Nice boys call them gams. My period is always on time, short, and light. That's important. My hair is long, shiny, and easy to manage. My plants are thriving. They are currently dying. The wart on the bottom of my foot is gone. I am tan even though I haven't seen the sun in 5 months. I am capable of love. We'll see. I communicate well with others, and my friends and family feel supported and cared for by me. So those are pretty lofty goals, to be honest.
That's
so
great.
We'll see.
I
So
love that. Thank you for sharing that with the world.
Thank you. I really hope I do enough squats to have gams. So I guess I really do want to like leave my family. I would love to be able to take care of my dad doing comedy. I really just want to do everything I can. Hopefully things open up. I want to, headline places. I want to star in movies and TV shows and podcasts and be an ad sponsor for something, hopefully not tampons or something like that. Maybe like a book. I don't know what things advertise, and I worked in advertising. Pillows. I don't know. So everything and also nothing. And I will just follow my horoscope one day at a time.
Awesome. I love that. So I'm saying awesome a lot, but at least I'm not flipping my hair like the cat lady said earlier today on Facebook. So the last thing I want to ask you is, when will you know that you've arrived at your goals in life? What do you have a benchmark that when I get on at Madison Square Garden, that's when I'll give up trying to be better at comedy? But right now, that's my litmus test. I won't feel personally, I'm not going to be just satisfied doing, 1,000 people in an arena when there's 20,000, 50,000 somewhere,
Yeah.
So do you have something out there that is going to be like, I know that I've gotten really good at this comedy or my acting, comedy, improv?
Yeah. I would love to host SNL one day. I guess we got to speak out I love this, by the way. My friends and I have been doing this. You got to speak out your goals so you can hear it and the universe will hear it. And then they'll know, oh, she wants this. We could give it to her. She's being good. So I want to host SNL. I can't be like a normal cast member because I will probably break from the pressure. But I'll host it. I'll definitely do that. And if Judd Apatow makes a movie about my childhood trauma, would love that. Because the Lord knows I have a lot. Yeah, I do love being known as the Midwest Hawaiian just because there are not a lot of Hawaiians out there. I just think representation is important, and I would love to be part of that just because I don't really see, besides the girl that plays Moana, which, I mean, personally, I'm from the Midwest, so I can't even say her name correctly, but we have The Rock, which is nice. He's doing what he can for the cause. But yeah, would love to be a face for Hawaiian and South Asian people. Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful question. And I wish I was more eloquent to answer it.
You're doing great. That's an awesome, amazing answer. Are you kidding me? You did fabulously throughout the whole interview.
Can I keep you in my pocket always for all this positivity?
And likewise, where can people follow you on social media, and what shows do you have coming up that they can catch on Zoom or live?
Follow me everywhere at Amber Made a Joke. It's just my first and last name and the word joke, because I try and do that. I have an Instagram. My Twitter is, I apologize. I have a Twitch, which hopefully once I turn on my computer, I will be able to pwn some noobs. I have an OnlyFans, which is not under that name. I won't tell you what it is unless you DM me, and I probably still won't tell you. And I just got Clubhouse. Have you used that yet?
What's that?
I'll send you a link if you're interested. I get 5 invites. But it's invite only right now. Elon Musk started it, or he's backing it. He's on it. And it's basically like you just talk with people, kind of like Zoom, but audio only. So you don't have to do your makeup, which is beautiful. And yeah, you can just go into different chat rooms and talk with people about things. There's comedy and finance and stocks and dating where you get to shoot your shot at people, which is fun. But yeah, so those are what you can find me on. I would love it if you followed me. I have a YouTube channel. I haven't really done much with it, just uploaded a clip so you guys can watch it there.
What's the name of your YouTube? Everything is Amber Made a Joke?
Yes.
Smart.
Thank you. I try to be.
It's a great line. Amber made a joke.
Yeah. Once I like start baking more, I'll have Amber made a cookie or the baked baker. So we'll there's things in the pipeline or in my pipe. I don't know. Either way. But I'll be smoking it, and no shows at the moment. I'll probably try and go to the Ann Arbor Showcase and try. I'm just going to try. And
what's the Ann Arbor Showcase? What is that?
That is the local comedy club. There's a couple around here, one night stands, Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. But I have a friend that always goes to Ann Arbor Showcase. So I go to support him and also to rub elbows from 6 feet away with the booker. So
yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So no shows as of yet, but I'll be working on it, working on my goals podcast.
So the name of your podcast is called Goals?
It will be, and it's probably going to be like goals. So probably like 6 of each letter.
Wow. I like that. I love that.
Yeah. So
Well,
I love that you talked about it too.
I talked about goals. Yeah, I'm a real goal setter.
That's awesome. What was the last goal that you had?
My last goal was, let's see here, to start getting booked by people who I respect in the business.
Oh.
So I made that a goal, specifically, like I would pick out people who I respected and let them know, work on getting my content out there, that as it gets better, and that you're the show I want to be on. Like I've selected you. What do you say? Like,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's like, instead of a random hitting them in the DM, how do I get on your show? Cause I want to be on shows. I would target them and say, your show is for this, this, and this. That's perfect for me. It's the right environment for me to just blossom and take off and do well. And, like, I'm not at the level where I can do good in every room. I'm not going to act like I am.
I don't think anyone can do that though.
Yeah.
I don't think every room is for every person.
And some people try to act like it is,
No,
I haven't arrived.
No, that's my favorite thing to do when there's female comics posting their sets online and people are like, she's a girl, not funny. And I just comment, not for you. Not for you. If you didn't think it was funny, it wasn't for you. Move on. It's for someone else.
That's right.
So yeah, that's great. Intentional booking. I love that.
Yeah.
It's true. And a little bit of flattery, like genuine flattery, especially, goes a long way.
Yeah. I do the same thing with, like, I've doing these comedy interviews. I made it my point that I wanted to be somebody who's somebody doing interviews. And my goal is that everybody is valuable, but I do want the respect of the big people, that they'll come on my show too. you know?
Yeah,
Like,
and you've had a bunch of people. I've seen your interviews that you've done already.
it's so hard not to get nervous, you know?
Oh,
It's like I
yeah.
look at their bio and I'm like, okay, I'm here, and they're what, and they get on here. The nice thing is once they've arrived, they're humble. It's not like
Yeah.
they're trying to be nothing. They're sick and tired of the whole fakeness. And like Jamie
Yeah.
Kennedy, he couldn't have been,
I didn't see that one. Oh my God.
got it. It's on my Facebook. I haven't gotten like 150 or 200 of these. I haven't even gotten onto my YouTube yet. I'm too busy
Yeah,
doing.
that's where I was watching it. Okay. I can't wait for that one. I like grew up on the X Factor.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was called the X Factor, right?
I think was the Jamie Kennedy experiment was one of them too.
Experiment. It was something with an X. I
Yeah.
knew that.
Jamie
Maybe
Kennedy
experiment.
It was so
Yeah.
great.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah, he's now become, because he's beyond wanting to be a star, and now it's just a job. And so he could totally just relate to me as a human.
That's awesome. It's cool to see people like that too, because it's not attractive when people are like all up in their shit. I just matched with a guy on Bumble and we had a FaceTime date the other day. And it wasn't until during the date that I looked at his bio, which on me for not reading that, but he like said that he was wealthy in his bio. And I was like, that's not cute. Like, that's so weird. Why would you say that?
So superficial to throw that out there.
Are you self-aware?
Good one. I think we'll end on your call back.
So thank you. Yes, I got one in.
That's a good one to end on.
Oh,
Well, you've been a doll. Thank you so much for coming on to Comic Spot today. And
it was so nice talking with you. Thank you
so
for having
lovely.
me.
What's that?
Thank you for having me.
Hugs.
Oh, hugs.
I know. Oh my gosh. So if you ever get to Vegas, look me up. And if I ever get to where you're at, I'll look you up.
Yes, the Michigan, the mitten.
Yes. Smitten by the mitten.
Oh, I love that.
Well, I'm going to head on out. And every month, if you want to come on and plug something different, hit me up for a 5-minute plug.
Would love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much yourself. You're amazing. I'm going to go to your pages and click like and subscribe.
Yay. Thank
then
you so much.
I'll type on the post your links for other people to see and some of my afterthoughts. And if you would also, once it's on there, make sure that on your page it has that, or reshare it.
Totally. Will do.
You're the best. Amber,
you're the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Amber.
Bye.
Miss you already.